every few chapters, there is a short chapter from the cat's perspective. Hello, book bestie, and welcome back to my channel. If I'm a new face to you, my name is Lauren, aka Lauren Page Reads on Instagram and TikTok, and today we are doing something really exciting. I have done every single monthly wrap-up video, and today we are going to conclude the 2024 wrap-up video series by doing December's reading wrap-up. And don't worry if you want a closer look at my reading habits all throughout 2024. That will be coming in a later video that'll be published a little bit later in January. I'm not going to tell you, but just be on the lookout if you want like more in depth, if you want to know like which books were the best that I read all year, etc, etc. But that's not what this one is about. Yeah, so we are just going to talk about December. We're going to get into the genre spread, how many pages I read, total books I read, and my favorite part is all the thoughts on each book that I read. And somehow I managed to read 13. Go ahead, grab a blanket, grab a nice warm beverage, and let's go ahead and get cozy and start chatting about my December reading. So like I already stated, I read 13 books in December, which was fantastic. And the even better part is that I was really into all of them throughout the whole entire month. I think every single book I read, I really enjoyed. I was just more like into dopamine reading, if I can call it that. Like I wasn't really concerned about what I was reading. I just wanted to be into it. And so that means my final count for total books I read in 2024 was 141. So I went a bit nuts, and it's kind of crazy that every single month I would do a wrap-up video. So that means at the end of this video, I'll have wrapped up 141 books. Yeah, and my original challenge for 2024 was to read 100 books. So I can't believe I I did surpass it, but I can't believe that I surpassed that by 41 books. That's nuts. Out of the 13 books that I read in December, 7 were on Kindle, 4 were audiobooks, and 2 were physical books. In terms of pages, I read just over 2,900 pages in December, which means that those pages accounted for 8% of the total pages I read in 2024. And if you want to see that growth and that percentage change per month throughout 2024, go check out that video that I was telling you about earlier. It'll be a week or so after this video. As for my genre spread, according to Storygraph, 6 of the books that I read were romances, 4 were mysteries, 2 were thrillers, and 1 was a fantasy. And when I start giving my thoughts on each of the books, you'll see why I classified some as mystery and some as thriller. Like, yeah, I might have gotten into cozy mysteries. And as a quick note, if you are curious about any of the books that I mentioned throughout this video, there will be a link to all of them in the description of this video, and I'll have it titled something like Get the Books or something like that. So if you want to check that out, just go ahead and look at that, okay? Make sure that you are following me on Goodreads if you want more access to all the books I read, all my thoughts on them, that type of stuff, because that is my most up-to-date form of book social media that I do. Obviously, I do Instagram, TikTok, that type of stuff, but like if you just want the book content, add me on Goodreads. There's a link for it in the description too. And now it is finally time to get into the good part, my thoughts on each of the books, and if you are going to enjoy reading this book. So first up is Booked for Murder by PJ Nelson. This was their debut mystery novel, and it is a pen name. I don't know who it is, but I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. And honestly, guys, this was the one that started me down the cozy mystery rabbit trail that I got sucked into in December. In this book, actress Madeline returns to her small Georgia hometown to inherit a bookstore from her late aunt. But she realizes that everything is not as it seems when she is confronted with arson, threats to her life, and murder. And this compels her to uncover the hidden secrets of her town. Overall, this one was really cute, and I really enjoyed reading it. It was a good pace. Overall, no complaints, good mystery. Also, there were a lot of red herrings throughout this book, and Southern comfort food was like a highlight of it. Love. You should pick up this book if you enjoy cozy small town mysteries, or if you're looking to get into the genre, or if you're looking for a dash of small town drama. Also, check out this book if you enjoy fearless heroines who unravel mysteries amidst murder and mayhem. The second book I read in December was How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn, and I rated this one 3.5 stars. Honestly, there was a little bit too much spice for me in this book, and that just hasn't been something I've enjoyed in my books lately. So I was just skipping through. At one point, I like skipped 20 to 25 pages at one time. Like, that's a lot of spice. In this book, Story returns to Kringletown to care for her Aunt Cindy, who has had a recent health scare. This return ignites a festive rivalry with her grumpy neighbor Cole as they compete in the town's Christmas Kringle contest. And all of this drama between the two leads to unexpected romantic sparks flying. You should pick up this book if you are looking for a holiday rom-com with small town charm, witty banter, and a festive enemies to lovers romance. Book number 3 of December was Kilted All the Way by Kate Nolan, and this was a sweet little novella that I was able to read as an arc. I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. It was perfect to read in one afternoon, and it made me smile and laugh out loud. Like, when I say a book has literally made me laugh, it means like I truly laughed. And also, this book features a Texas cowboy who has to wear a kilt, which, like, who doesn't love that? Texas cowboy Zeke and Scottish cheesemaker Pippa are longtime friends who have been harboring a mutual attraction to the other. The pair embarks on a holiday road trip across Scotland to deliver a surprise Christmas present to Zeke's best friend. But a few unexpected complications bring Pippa and Zeke closer together. You should definitely pick up this book if you enjoy cozy holiday romances that have a dash of Scottish charm, friends to lovers chemistry, and heartwarming adventures. The fourth book was A Winter in New York by Josie Silver, and I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. Overall, this was a really heartwarming and sweet read for me. I actually read it on my birthday live stream over on TikTok, so I read almost all of this book in one day. But it was a really sweet love story, especially because the main characters in it were in their mid to late 30s. So like, they were established, but they still fell in love, and you got to see that develop over a longer period of time. In this book, Iris, a chef who is looking for a fresh start in New York City, discovers a family-run gelateria in Little Italy that holds a surprising connection to her late mother. This leads Iris and the main love interest to navigate complex family histories and unexpected romance. You should pick up this book if you enjoy heartwarming romances with rich family secrets, culinary charm, and the magic of New York City in the winter. Book number 5 of December was The Holiday Honeymoon Switch by Julia McKay, and I rated this one 3.75 stars. Best friends since college, Holly and Ivy swap holiday vacation plans when there is a drastic overnight change to their lives. Holly retreats to a cozy Hudson Valley cabin after her fiance breaks off their engagement the night before their wedding, while Ivy goes on Holly's honeymoon vacation in Hawaii. This book is filled with unexpected romances and self-discovery during the holiday season. You should pick up this book if you enjoy stories that are filled with strong female friendships, unexpected love stories, and are craving the charm of both snowy and tropical vacations. Book number 6 was All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker, and I listened to this one on Audible. I rated it 4 stars because overall it was really good, and I don't think I've read anything like it in a really, really long time, if at all. And like, the way I want to categorize it is it was a historical fiction thriller? I don't know. That seems right. And I will say, you should definitely go read this one. Even if it doesn't sound like your cup of tea, give it like 100 pages and see if it is. Set in 1975 Missouri, 13-year-old Patch becomes the unlikely hero when he saves a girl from abduction. This ultimately triggers a series of events that will expose the dark underbelly of their small town and alter the lives of its residents forever. You should read this one if you are drawn to gripping atmospheric reads that feature complex characters and add a touch of noir. The 7th book of December was In the Company of Witches by Aura Lee Wallace, and I rated this one 3.75 stars. So this was my second cozy mystery of December, and you could tell from here I was really getting into it. In this book, Bryn is a witch who has lost touch with her powers after her husband's death. But when a guest mysteriously dies at their family-run bed and breakfast in the quaint, cozy town of Evenfall, Bryn must reconnect with her magic to clear her beloved aunt's name. You should definitely read this book if you are looking for a cozy mystery with a magical twist, and if you enjoy the themes of family, healing, and witchy twists. Book number 8 was Booked for the Holidays by Liz Maverick, and I listened to this one on Audible. It was short and sweet, just under 5 hours long, but it was really worth it. I rated this one 4 stars. Publishing assistant Abby teams up with Dove, the grandson of her favorite mystery author, to help finish a delayed manuscript during Hanukkah. This leads the duo into festive collaboration and unexpected romance. The 9th book of December was Dead as a Door Knocker by Diane Kelly, and guys, this series, I am obsessed. I have not met a book series like this in a long time that I've been so obsessed with. When it pops up on my Kindle to, like, after you finish one book, you know, usually I don't like auto buy. I've been auto buying. That is how obsessed I am. I rated this first book 4 out of 5 stars because it's good, guys. It's quirky and funny and charming and very sweet. Nashville property manager and aspiring house flipper Whitney Whitaker, with the help of her cat Sawdust, discovers a dead body in the flower bed of a house that she is currently flipping. This discovery propels her into the murder investigation to clear her name and save her investment. You should pick up this book if you enjoy cozy mysteries with a touch of home renovation, a determined female sleuth, and a sweet and adorable feline companion. And guys, the thing that like really got me about this book, every few chapters there is a short chapter from the cat's perspective. Like, now on another note, the 10th book I read in December was She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica, and this is the exact opposite of warm and cozy, but I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Also, I have a whole video review on this book. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it somewhere. ICU nurse Megan becomes entangled in a web of deception and danger after a comatose patient is admitted to her care. Suddenly, Megan begins uncovering secrets that threaten her and her daughter's security and safety. Book number 11 was The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and I rated this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. I also listened to it on Libby, and I think it was something with Libby and or my car because I listened to it on my way home to Indiana, but it sounded like really far away even though I had the volume turned up. And also I feel like Libby skipped a couple words every now and then, like not a big deal, but it just took me about an hour to 2 hours to really get into this audiobook. Jess arrives in Paris to stay with her half-brother Ben, but when she gets there she finds his apartment completely empty except for his cat. As she investigates her brother's disappearance, Jess uncovers a web of secrets among the building's residents, each hiding more than she anticipated. You should definitely pick up this book if you enjoy atmospheric thrillers with intricate plots, complex characters, and a setting that brings out the dark underbelly of Paris. The 12th book of December was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and I rated this one 3.5 stars. Now, it's my second time reading this book first time listening to it, and I didn't like intend to be reading it, but I'd finished the Paris apartment and my drive back to North Carolina was taking longer than expected, and so this was one that was available on Libby for me, so I listened to it. And it's kind of fun because as the third book is coming out in January, I get to kind of refresh myself with the series. Also, if you don't know about this book, like, I'm not judging you. I'm just gonna kind of ask like where you've been and if you're new here to like the book community. You must be very confused. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail is commanded by her mother, who is the Commander General High Lady of Basgiath College, to join the elite rider quadrant at this college. Violet has to navigate a perilous environment, form alliances, and uncover hidden secrets to survive her time here. The final book that I read in 2024, I'm really thrilled that like I finished my year on this book, but I read Dead in the Doorway by Diane Kelly. Now, this is the second book in that previously mentioned series, the House Flipper mystery or whatever it's called, and there are 7 books total. I rate this book 4 stars. Once again, I simply could not get enough of Whitney and Sawdust's adventures in Nashville. When House Flipper Whitney Whitaker and her cat Sawdust discover the body of a neighbor blocking the entrance to her latest renovation project, Whitney can't believe that this is happening again, but this time in a quiet cul-de-sac of retirees. This discovery prompts Whitney to team up with the handsome detective in charge of the case and investigate the suspicious death to protect her investment and uncover the truth. You should pick up this book because the series is just completely charming. Please just like go do me a favor and go read it. Like, just try it out, see if you like it. It's adorable. All right, so that is my December reading wrap up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching all of this. It's been a crazy year. Completely different than how I started 2024, but I am just really excited to still be here with y'all. And thank you so much for all of your support. If you have any suggestions for books for me to read in January, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. And also, if you read any of the books I mentioned in this video today, let me know your thoughts on them. I want to know if I was like off base or not. Like, I don't know, I read some bigger books, I read some smaller books. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss out on any of my videos. I post a new bookish video for you to enjoy every Tuesday and Friday. And until next time, book bestie, happy reading. Bye!